Hello, everyone. I want to thank you for taking this moment to watch the Dare to Dream Network. Today, we're talking about Think Like a Millionaire. This is a book that I previously released about 2 years ago, and I'm ecstatic to talk about and relay the progress and show how I've evolved as an author, how so many things are changing within my life. And I'm thankful, and especially because of those of you who are tremendous supporters of my work and who have been a part of that process. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I want to give a quick shout out to my narrator, Corbin Thompson. And this is unbelievable because I'm in the middle of a recording and my laptop is dying. Unheard of. Unheard of. Give me a second. I can't believe this, you guys. It's like some force doesn't want me to talk about this and release this content. Unbelievable. Now, back to life, back to reality. I cannot believe this is happening, like for real, for real. But whew, we're here to talk about Think Like a Millionaire. And aside from all the mishaps and what have you that have happened today, I mean, you're on a live recording and you complete and publish and so forth the recording, and there's no sound. Like, what else could go wrong? But these things happen. And so I'm thankful that I was able to catch everything in time and re-record and all of that. But I want to shout out my narrator, Corbett Thompson, who will be my narrator for Think Like a Millionaire. Those of you um, who have been watching and following and so forth, this is the new re-release of Think Like a Millionaire, the new cover. This is what we look like now. The paperback is not out yet for those of you that are stuck in the Stone Age and still reading print books. You will have Think Like a Millionaire be made available to you in print as of January 2016. So there's just a couple of more weeks before that is released through Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Books a Million, and so forth. Um, Also in 2016, it will be the release of the audiobook at the the fresh start of the new year. So I'm excited about that. I'm so thankful to my narrator for all of his hard work and his help. He has been a tremendous blessing to me. Those of you that need any type of uh, narration to your books and so forth, I strongly recommend Google Corbin Thompson. Look him up. He's with King James Radio Network, and he has been an excellent narrator for me. He's been a blessing to my work, and I'm just so thankful. And if you need any type of narrating work with your projects and books, you can look him up. If you are part of the ACX community, which is where audio books are made, definitely look him up and you can connect with him there. And Think Like a Millionaire. Um, if you don't have a Kindle, um, don't worry about it. Go to my Think Like a Millionaire page on Amazon and scroll to the bottom. It's somewhere in the corner. There's an app that you can download absolutely free. And you can get it on your phone, you can get it on your laptop, your desktop, your tablet, anything that you access the internet on, you can gain access to the Kindle app and be able to read good stuff like this. Come on, you guys. So the book is $2.99 on Kindle. It was 99 cents last week, and the price has gone up, and it just may go up again. So you just want to get involved while one, it's at a fairly cheap price. I mean, most of you pay more for a Red Bull than you will for this ebook, and I'm telling you, it's definitely worth reading because you're going to get into some tips and nuggets and strategies that's going to help you think different about what you want to do with your finance and set yourself on that pace. And so, what is my personal story about Think Like a Millionaire? Well, my dad was a millionaire. My parents were millionaires. My mom was a millionaire by default because she was married to my dad. Um, my parents inherited wealth through a tragic accident that my father endured. My dad was hit by what they call New York City's finest. Hit and dragged my dad, as well as my then Doberman Pinscher, in the streets of the Bronx. And it was just like a horrible and horrific experience at the time. I was no more than about 4, maybe 5 years old at the time that this happened. My dad was the sole breadwinner of our home. So this put us in a state of extreme poverty. It's also one of the causes, for those of you that know a backdrop of my story, it's also part of the main cause that I ended up in foster care as a child. And so while there were many things that contributed to me being taken from my parents, that was one major factor, because had that not happened, my family would not have fell into some of the conditions that they later found themselves in. So uh, what is my story? My story is that my parents were not always rich. And then when they obtained a bit of wealth, it was mishandled. One, through not having appropriate education, two, trusting the wrong people to be a caregiver or a caretaker or a steward, so if you will, over what they have. And so when you come from a background such as my parents, whom I'm not ashamed to say, because God has afforded me many opportunities of success and so forth to accomplish things that my parents would possibly only dream of. My dad being an individual grown in the South, uh, who all of him, ooh, did you hear that accent? Whom all of his life he's had to be the caretaker for someone in his family. And that wasn't a strange thing growing up in the times that he grew up in. So, in short, my dad was born in the 30s. And so that is crazy to me, being someone who just turned 30 this year. And I never had the privilege of most young people my age of saying, oh, my dad is in his late 30s or early 30s or 40s or something like that. To this present day, my dad is 82 wonderful, blessed years of age. And he has a 30-year-old son, which is me. I'm the youngest out of all of my brothers and siblings. And so um, I'm saying all that to say my dad comes from a different time and era. And education wasn't always a top priority in that community, not because we could not be educated or we were second class or we were dumb and poor and so forth. It was because as a male, black male child in that time frame and era, he had to learn work and do things to provide for the family, his sisters. So most of the women in my dad's family were the ones sent off to school, and the boys had to stay home and work and do things to help and provide for the family. So that's not a strange thing. It was very common within the African community, African American community. And so those things befell him. He did not get the kind of education that we are afforded today. So although my dad was able to make strides of accomplishments and achieve a certain amount of success in various areas of his life, and even improving on himself and self-educating himself to the point of learning how to read, there was a period where he could not read. And um, I'm saying all that to say that when wealth fell into his hands, and when money fell into his hands, he was not in a situation to really know all of what to do with it. He did what any noble individual will do, and that is take care of your family, that is distribute what you've been given to your children, to your wife, and to your siblings, and so forth. So my dad did a lot of that. And it's unfortunate. And I say this all in love and the reality of what took place. My dad trusted individuals in my family over his money, and they used it for their own personal gain against his will, without his permission. There was so much underhanded stuff that went on. And again, I say this in love, and I'm not mentioning who did what on purpose. One, because it's the past, it's over, it's forgiven, and because for reason of my own protection, that I not be sued or whatever, because it's an immediate relative. So that's part of what took place. An immediate relative took advantage of my dad's money, squandered and threw away a lot of his money on various different things. My dad had not a clue that this was happening. And by the time his awareness came to what was taking place, it was literally almost too late. Um, my personal opinion, by virtue of what I was able to see through his bank accounts and the last little bit of everything that's withdrawn, there's no present day excuse as to why my dad still isn't a millionaire, because he had well of enough money left that if it was appropriately invested and so forth, that his status should be different. There's people that are from my community, which is the East Tremont area of the Bronx, New York. Shout out to people on Monterey Avenue. But there's people that are from that community that can attest to what I'm saying, that no one understood why my dad and my parents still lived in the community that they did and didn't move and do something else and so forth. And my dad had a plan. He had purchased property in the South and was having an estate built, and so many other things took place with that. And then learning that your finances are gone, you can't press charges against the individual you would like to press charges against because it is your blood relative, i.e., a child of yours. So those were hard situations to deal with. And while it is all forgiven, that's not even the focus of this book. The focus of this book is to talk about the tragedy that happened. What could you do if wealth fell into your hands through an accident, through an inheritance? And maybe that's not how you will obtain wealth. Maybe you will obtain wealth by being a productive citizen of society that gets an education and starts a business, or saves money, or climbs the social and economic ladder through the workplace. My personal opinion is that no job can ever make you rich. I don't care how much money you save, no job will ever make you wealthy. My personal opinion is that in order for you to build wealth, you need to create multiple flows, multiple streams of income, residual income that comes in, work that you do once and you continue to be paid for. And what does that look like? In short, just a few things for you to think about. That you could become a music artist and collect royalties either through songwriting or song performance and production and so forth. You could become a speaker and obtain it through workshops and seminars. You could become an author. You can take whatever your expertise is in whatever field of work that you're in and become an author that offers tips, advice, strategies, things that causes your work environment to be improved. And when I talk about things like this with individuals, who have the slightest interest in becoming any type of entrepreneur or learning how to tap into creating a stream of income for themselves. The thing that amazes them is how they never thought that they can do it from right where they are. You know, you are the individual that's working the 9 to 5 or whatever hours that you work. Taking that same expertise that you use in your workplace, be it marketing, be it sales, be it management of teams and people and so forth. Um, if you're hiring and you're in a position of management or a supervisor, you're hiring people, you're firing people, you're handling those duties and responsibilities. The thing some folks just never think of is, what are people looking for in the corporate world, in the workplace? And so an easy thing or transition or an easy flow or stream that you could create for yourself is writing books on business etiquette and what are people looking for when they hire people? How should you present yourself? These are valid things that need to be discussed, talked about. People need to write about these things. For those that are serious about self-improvement and building their self-worth, for those that are graduating high school and college and so forth, that are trying to get into the workplace and may not have a clue as to how to approach that, they could be reading your book, your content, watching your videos and so forth. You can make a name and a place for yourself in the global marketplace. Notice how I didn't say local, but in the global marketplace, where people are investing into what you do, who you are. And so that's what Think Like a Millionaire is all about, is showing you the importance of saving, is showing you the importance of creating new streams of income, is showing you the importance of investing in yourself, is showing you the importance of considering, not just considering, but planning for your retirement. And one thing I want to stress to anyone that is a business owner and an entrepreneur, especially within the community of entrepreneurs of color, Black, Latino, and other, no one in the African American or colored community talks about wealth building in the sense of entrepreneurs putting away money for their retirement. Think about that for a minute. When you deal with business professionals within the Caucasian community, you often hear about, well, I can retire at any point. I don't have to work anymore. And sometimes you see people retire from CEO positions and pass the company on to someone else or whatever at an early age, or they go and transition from one stage of something into another. And you're like, why in the world would that person retire? Because most of us live and operate from a mindset of paycheck to paycheck. And it is strange for us to hear of anyone retiring at 30 or retiring at 40. Why? Because within our community, it is a very common thing that people are working till they die. It's not even at retiring at 65 anymore. I have an aunt whose name Lois, who is a remarkable person. She retired at 65, like most do, and ended up within the next year going back to work out of boredom at first. And then a couple of years later, it evolved that she took a leave off of work and went back to work again, because not because she was bored, but because she had to, that the benefits that she was receiving wasn't enough to make ends meet. And how can anyone that's listening relate to that story and understand exactly what that is like? So within this book, Think Like a Millionaire, you're going to find strategies that's going to talk about retirement. You're going to come to understand that it's important for an entrepreneur even to plan and not plan. And I really want to just be specific on certain terminology. because we say things and then people have one perception when you really mean a complete other. I don't mean just plan for retirement. I want to make that clear. I want people to understand you have to take active progression. That means monthly putting something aside. The same way you pay those taxes and the same way that you make plans and provision for that, you have to actively plan for your retirement. And the earlier you do it, the better off that you're going to be. The making those investments early on and saving and putting something away towards that. I mean, even your tax return, the average person spends all of their tax return um, on whatever, trying to catch up on bills, refurnishing their apartment, getting a new wardrobe, all the things that, in all honesty, don't matter, instead of taking a good portion of those things and investing it in their future. So I'm excited about the relaunch of Think Like a Millionaire. 2016, expect to see wealth builders seminars online. We're going to be talking about wealth building online via Google Hangouts, Twitter, YouTube, Periscope. I will be everywhere. I want you guys to be involved. I want you guys to get engaged in this whole process. I'm not just here to talk about wealth and money and all of that, but to help people grow as entrepreneurs. That's what my passion is. And to give you what it took for me to reach some of the milestones that I reached in my life. So that's what this is all about. And to those Christians that are watching, I want to address something that I hear via social media so much. I get a lot of criticism from Christians. Oh, you're a preacher. And Christians shouldn't be overly concerned about money and making money and wealth and this and that. And why are you focused on such topics? And a lot of your content all has to do, it all involves something with money. The question I want to ask, or statement I'd like to make, is why not? We serve a God of abundance. So why would I be limited to anyone's point of view of how I should live or what I should teach on? No, I'm not a prosperity preacher. No, I don't preach prosperity. But guess what? Money is a real need in my life. Finances is a need in anyone's life. And I'll put it this way: there's a scripture that says money answers all things. No, money may not can buy you happiness, it may not can do this or may not can do that, but it definitely answers all things. So whatever moves you need to make in your life require what? Money. Simple day-to-day tasks require what? Money. Everyday living requires what? Money. So whatever state that you find yourself in, money can be a tool or an aid for your life's improvement. Period, point blank, the end. There is nothing wrong with being wealthy. There's nothing wrong with having more than enough. It's what you do to obtain it, and it's what you do when you maintain it that makes the difference. So I find it very funny that within the religious community, you have a lot of people that get squeamish when it comes to talking about money and wealth. They love to attack preachers, but you never know what a person went through to get to the status of where they are. I don't speak bad of rich people, because guess what? I know where I'm destined for. I know where I'm going in life. I know that what I have right now is great, but it's not enough. And so I'm not overly concerned about obtaining wealth. I'm not obtaining wealth in a wicked type of way. I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not doing anything that I should be worried about or can't sleep at night, or I'm screaming when someone knocks at my doorbell. I don't live those type of lifestyles. And while I'm on that topic, I have family members who sold drugs and were literally millionaires by doing so. But what do we have to show for it? Because really, in honesty, you can't just go deposit that type of money into the bank. Where did you obtain this type of money from? I know people who have it and can't enjoy it, who cannot live their life because IRS and whoever else would question, where did you receive this? How did you obtain this? So they live their life um, under the radar, so to speak. They have a somewhat decent car, the best of what they can have, but they don't try to get anything too expensive or live anywhere too flashy, etc. They may have all the latest gadgets and finest things, and in some cases they don't, just so that they don't bring that attention to themselves. I come from a community within the Bronx where there's a plethora of drug dealers, etc. I've been raised around wealthy people in the streets, in the church, and in my family. So I feel that I have a wealth of information. I can talk about the street hustle. I can talk about the religious hustle, and I can talk about, in my instance, in my family, of how you can inherit wealth through tragic instances. So on every level, I've been touched by it. And as I think about my personal life, the mistakes that I made in my youth, a lot of money that was inherited to me, I squandered and spent, all because of fear that somebody else would spend my money before I do. So I have a lot to talk about and to offer in terms of advice and what am I doing on my own personal journey to recover what I have lost and to redeem myself and to put myself back in the marketplace as an individual who has taken everything. If you are a avid Michael McCain fan, you know that everything that I've been through, I use it. Nothing that I have been through has been wasted. I minister to people about divorce because I've been through there. I've been through that. I minister to people about finances, etc., through my life's instances and stories and things that has happened. I do life coaching. I inspire people through my poetry, my works of poetry. Beyond that, um, I deal with people in the religious community. So I've taken my years of experience as a minister and teacher, and I provide that to people within the spiritual community. So everything that I've been through, I use those gifts and talents to reach people, to inspire people, to motivate people to be better. And that's my brand. Life improvement is my brand. So whatever area improvement is needed in, expect to see me there. I'm not a person that is, quote, all over the place just to be all over the place. I'm not groping for the next big trend as to how to be, quote, famous. I'm just operating in the grace that I've been given. Fair enough? So, for those of you that really want to learn about wealth building and join me in this process and be a part of my online community. You hear this accent? Ooh. My online community of mentorship and wealth building. I advise, follow, get connected with me through Facebook, through my fan pages, and expect to see my new website that's coming. Don't really want to give up the name just yet because I have some stuff in development, and that's my business partner texting me. Um, I have some stuff in development, and I don't want to jump the gun by announcing the name, and then there be some kind of change that I was not expecting. So I'm ecstatic, you guys. I'm doing the work. I'm pushing myself to get out here and blog and do what I need to do because I have great expectation that 2016 and beyond is going to be phenomenal. So if you want to be a part of that process, join me. Get connected with me everywhere via social media. Subscribe. Don't forget to download your copy of Think Like a Millionaire. All right. I'll see you guys on the other side of things. Don't forget to comment in the comment section. Show some love, show some support. All right. Peace.